rise up this morning, we're looking at the rising sun. See three little birds singing three songs. I messed up all the words. This is my message to you. I know I'm late. Shut up. Don't worry. I had to talk to a man about a thing. About a ting. He was worried about his ting, his little ting-ting. Everything, little ting, is gonna be all right. And sometimes when people need you, you got to go. Don't worry. About a ting. So I had to speak to him. Every little ting is gonna be all right. Because you know what? He had a woman playing mind games on him. So. Rise up this morning, smile at the rising sun. But it's fitting with today. Don't worry about a ting. Every little ting is gonna be all right. All the tings, every single one of the tings. I need to talk about a few things this morning. I need to talk about the cuckoo virus. I ain't done. I've been studying viruses now. You know what? I'm almost damn near a YouTube expert. Okay, I done studied my viruses now. Y'all know that flus. Oh my goodness, flu. Flu is an organic process, people. It's literally organic. It's part of the process. It literally is. Epidemic, not so much. So we need to talk about this morning. Don't worry about a ting, because all nature is gonna be all right. So don't worry about a ting. If you don't involve out of war and poverty, it's gonna be all right. It's always gonna be all right. Hang on, I had to post something. Oh yeah, I do. This is correct. This is just so studying all the viruses this morning, becoming a YouTube University expert in the worst pandemics on the planet that ever occurred. And we always think the pandemics, we think that the flus, the bacteria have gone away. And they actually didn't go anywhere. They ain't go nowhere. Y'all know the bubonic plague is still hanging out down in, Oregon? Somebody caught the bubonic plague in Oregon a minute ago. They didn't go nowhere. They're just waiting for us to be stupid again. That's all. Oh, did you, Christine? You saw the documentary? I posted one this morning, Christine, on the Spanish flu. Enlightening. I don't post these things for my fun. Actually, that's a lie. I post them because they're fun and it's a my. So that look at the history of the Spanish flu. There's some similarities here we cannot avoid, people. And so yeah, I'm late. Let me get adjusted. Give me a minute. I gotta get adjusted. I had to talk to the man about his woman and the things that's going on in his life. And when people need you, you're supposed to stop and do that. I apologize for being late. It's not my need. It's not the thing that I wanted to do. But when people need you, you gotta be there. Y'all know how women can be. Y'all know how, Lord, you know how women can be. And it's not just, men can be that way too. So it's not a man-woman thing. It's just it matters of the heart. But like matters of the vaccine, everything gonna be all right. All right, so I need to say I do trust vaccination methods. I need to let y'all know that right now. So don't start reporting me. I do. We just disagree on the ones that we all trust. I trust every single vaccination method that was created before money. Every last one of them. All of them. Take all of them. All the ones that was created before money. All That's what I had to post. All right, I'm going to post that. I'm going to get in trouble. I might actually get blocked today. I might get banned, deleted, or something. Whew. All right, I'm almost ready. Every little thing gonna be all right. You don't have to worry. So Christine, did you find it interesting? I found some interesting similarities in that documentary. There are a whole lot of things that C's and C stands for cuckoo virus. C also stands for capitalism, and C stands for capital. C stands for a couple of things, and P stands for some things too. I find it interesting that flus become pandemics when you have war. Is anyone finding that a little interesting? Christine, I think the links were powerful and giving us a probable cause of pandemics. That the flu is natural, the pandemic is not. The pandemic is indicating of a system that gives a condition to allow a flu to become a pandemic. That the flus have never gone anywhere. They just keep sitting in the background waiting for us to have produce at the local Walmart. Waiting for endless war and poverty and conditions like San Francisco to cultivate viruses and bacteria to become pandemics. I think the origin of every pandemic is government. I do. It's corruptment. Hillary got a corruptment. Because of all the pandemics come about when you have war. Outside of war, it's just a flu. Hello? Is anybody listening to me? So the Spanish flu, which, by the way, Christine, you can confirm, I might say it wrong. The Spanish flu it's not from Spain. It's not from Spain. The war was in Spain. It actually started in Alabama, Tupelo, Alabama, if I'm not correct. It's the Alabama flu, but they didn't want to call it the Alabama flu. And so it started there, and then it went to Spain because people was doing something they weren't supposed to be doing, called war. And then it cultivated after, I think, 3 renditions of like prioritizing war, not the people, not clean water and taking care of people and immunity and all that. Then it became something, the biggest plague in the history of the human race. And all pandemics come from the same source, ignorance, all of them. Nature is not trying to kill you. Nature is just trying to figure out how to live in the monkey body. Government's what kill you. Not using the things we know to increase immunity. Only giving public health professionals and healers microphones when it's profitable. That's the problem. We have government. Right? Everything they do is for power or profit. And it's powerful and profitable for pandemics to exist. And that starts with P, and so does Pentagon and endless war. That's an E, but it fits right in. And that's where the pandemic's coming from. We done found the source of the cuckoo virus. Ignorance. The source of every virus, source of every pandemic. The virus isn't bad. The flu isn't bad. The person who got bubonic plague in Oregon, they didn't die. Nothing happened to them. Went to the hospital, left. Because you didn't have war in Oregon. You know, during the Spanish, we might have to watch that. We might have to watch portions of it. You know that during the war, they utilized secrecy to allow the flu to spread, right? Because that's what you do in war. And that's why you have biological weapons. It was a natural made weapon, but disaster capitalism. If it can kill more of the enemy troops, then you don't tell the enemy. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to murder and kill us all. Boy, I tell you, we ain't gonna survive. We might survive a lot of things. We are not gonna survive identity crises. End up in global conflicts. All right, let me get started. I gotta talk about something. Jon Snow. Oh my goodness. Did y'all know Jon Snow from Game of Thrones? Hang on. I'm almost ready. Let me change the music. We'll get into it. Jon Snow led the way. Told y'all what to do. Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. I didn't know he was actually this old, but apparently he cured cholera. Let me tell you, he knew. I can tell you a story. Hang on. At the time, I did my study this morning. I got my degree in YouTube illnesses. Oh, I love having this thing. I love having this internet thing. You can go look up the history. Jon Snow. Where Jon Snow at? Hang on. Oh, no, YouTube. Let me bring YouTube in first. Then we'll talk about Jon Snow. I love having this thing. I love having this. Ooh, how's everybody doing this morning? Anybody catch the cuckoo endless war pandemic? Because that's the only time you get pandemics. The only time the flu literally sits around and hangs out and waits for us to be stupid enough to have conflict. You know, a destabilized earth, economic systems all over the earth that thrive on conflict and capitalism and keeping things from people that let them not get the flu and let it cultivate long enough to become a pandemic. All that these viruses do, bacteria, they just sit around and wait for us. They know how stupid we are. They sit around and they just cultivate and change and morph the bubonic plague down in Oregon, just swimming in the water, just waiting for us to be stupid enough to start a war. And as soon as we start a war, guess what's gonna happen? All right. It was a great documentary on the Spanish flu. Y'all should look it up. Spend a little time with that. All right, we got YouTube, got the relaxing music, not worrying about a thing, and let's get to it. All right, so Jon Snow, let me tell you a story. Anybody know the story of cholera? Anybody know the story? So apparently, hang on, I got this picture over here somewhere. Jon Snow realized there's a cholera epidemic at the time. It's a great story. At the time, he realized that the pharmaceutical industry was wrong, that the medical community was incorrect. They thought that viruses and bacteria came from dead bodies and air. He fought the power, fought the system, raised against the machine, and said, this is not true. It came from hand pumps. I said it right. It came from water hand pumps. And so what Jon Snow had done at the time, and this is an imposter, this is the wrong Jon Snow. This is the Jon Snow I like. This is the wrong Jon Snow. He realized that he did something called research, right? It's this thing that you can do on YouTube. It's called research. He realized the paradigm at the time was incorrect. He checked all the patients and traced them all back to a water pump. I think this was London, right? I think this might have been London. And so he traced it all the way back. Everybody used that water pump that got this cholera stuff. So he said it obviously had to be pump handles. And nobody believed him because he spoke against the paradigm at the time. They thought he was incorrect. I'm trying to get this thing right. No, that's the wrong Jon Snow. I got to move him to the background. They thought he was incorrect. So they humored him. And they got rid of the pump handle. They literally took the pump handle off the pump just to prove him wrong. And guess what happened? Cases of cholera went down sharply, immediately, proving it was the pump handle. Actually, it's the water. But the point is, he went against the modern paradigm. The modern paradigm was profitable, that the flus and viruses came from dead bodies, carcasses, and air. He fought the system. He did his homework. Jon Snow just didn't win the Game of Thrones and come back from the dead, but he also proved that the modern pharmaceutical industry is always probably lying because it's profitable. That's why I trust every vaccine before the invention of money. Every last one of them, all those methods. All the methods. Did you know? Outside of viral fake news, did you know George Washington in the American Revolution, I forgot the date, 1770 something to something. More soldiers died from smallpox than from war, than from battle. There is something about war that always takes a flu and makes it a pandemic. And if we don't get rid of the war, see, in this analogy, war is the handle. That's the handle. And I'm kind of like, well, maybe we should try. If there are some direct correlations between pentagons and cuckoo viruses and turning natural organic flus into pandemics, and poverty and scarcity and dirty water and governments keeping secrets and hiding patents and closed source technology, if there are links between that and pandemics and us dying, maybe we need to think about who us are, and maybe we should get rid of those things that are always linked in mass extinctions. That's what I think. But, anyway, what I know. I'm just not worried about the cuckoo virus. I'm not worried about it. I keep calling that because it's cuckoo. We are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Once again, we keep the things around that murder us. And we're proud of them. And we're cheering it. War will create the next plague. All right, hang on. Where my live? I can't see my emoticons. I can't see people angry. Like, no, it's not. Oh, did y'all hear Trump? Did y'all hear what Trump said? Hang on. I gotta talk about Trump for a minute. Trump, did you hear what he said? You know what, man, it's so hard not to like this guy. I'm sorry, it is. It's so hard. I know people get mad at me when I say, well, you like Trump better than our guy. No, I don't like necessarily Trump. What did he say? First of all, let's get his quote. I love it, which, by the way, if anybody was waiting to find out if he was going to give money to big pharmaceutical industry poisoning the people, yeah, he did it. Of course he did it. He was told to do it. He has to do it. Obama did it. So of course he's going to do it. What kind of nonsense is this? Oh, but Trump has got our back. He's fighting the deep state. He can't fight the deep state. He doesn't have a pharmaceutical industry. He doesn't have a war machine. He doesn't have the money, and he doesn't have a military. He doesn't have a Pentagon. He's told what to do just like Obama did. So, we got something crazy happening. How come I can't see the live emoticons, man? Hang on. This is fake news. I'm about to stop if I can't put my emoticons on the front. He did the same thing. Why are you always linking Trump to Obama? Because they do the same thing? I don't link them, they do. What did he say? Somebody get his quote for me while I'm trying to get my thing right. He gave money to the pharmaceutical industry to make a vaccine. And I think he told everybody, because they're working on the flu shots. And he needs everybody to take them. Same way Obama did. No, they never gave that money back. Which pandemic was that? Which war pandemic did we have with Obama where he gave, $8 billion to the pharmaceutical industry to save us, the same farmers? There they go, that angry face. Which is bad. I need to stop laughing with the angry faces. Somebody told me that I shouldn't do that because if you do angry faces, it lowers the the promotion of the video. This is horrible. I hate it because I love the angry faces. But we got to do hearts now. So I'm gonna stop laughing and cheering the angry faces. I'm learning. I'm trying. So Obama sent the billions of dollars to the pharmaceutical industry. So now Trump just did that himself. Did anybody get the quote? What'd he say? Nobody posted the quote. What did he do? He said, oh, no, I'm gonna go to the quote. I'm gonna go to the exact quote because I'm gonna mess it up. Y'all know me. I'll make something up if I don't know the exact quote. So right, he ordered flu vaccine overhauls, gave the executive order. Hang on. But before that, that was a post from earlier. Before that, he said, this is on MSN. So I don't know how true it is. It's MSN. It's mainstream media. They lie about everything. You can't really trust nothing that they got to say. But let me see. Can I bring my timeline up? Where my timeline? There you go, right there. Oh, Jon Snow, you got to go away. Let's move Jon Snow. Although I think Jon Snow was on to it. I think he was right. We need to get rid of, we need to try something. Get rid of your Pentagon and the pandemics will go away. Get rid of your war. You get rid of your closed source technology because closed source technology, it's not innovation. I like to piss off people. I'm an innovator. I'm an engineer. This is what we do. We create innovations. It's not innovation if you're doing it closed source in a corporation in the Silicon Valley and you're only allowing your creation to be utilized for profit or for corporations or for governments or for war. That's not innovative. You're not innovating anything. Innovation by definition, it means new. You're not doing anything new if you're creating Greek fire and keeping it to yourself, okay? That's not an innovation, that's called stupation. It's a new word I just made up. We need an open source world, open source technology. The other thing that, let me move this down. The other thing that helps pandemic spread, that creates the ecosystem for flus to become pandemics is hiding technology, pretending that creating black project skunk work technology to keep it hidden from DARPA and the people who need it to fight in third world countries where these things come from because poverty helps to spread it like war zones, is our ignorance in having closed source technology. You can't have any closed source technology. This is what he said. I try to get serious for a minute. It's hard to take all this too seriously. Because we're going to die. We're working on it. The bacteria trying to kill us. Bacteria's always been trying to kill us, and now we kill us. Bacteria wants to kill us in mass. We want to kill us in mass. There's no way we make it in this story. What do you say? Experts baffled as Trump asked, why they can't just use flu vaccines to prevent the coronavirus? That is a very good question. That's a very good question, class. I know we laugh back and forth, and I laughed when I when I first saw it. I kind of laughed, and I thought about it then, and I started processing in my head. Cause see, when you see the guy, this is me. When I see Trump or I see Obama, Bernie, or something, I'm like, oh, here, Lord, here we go. I'm getting ready to laugh at something stupid, but there's genius in this question. There's a whole lot of genius in it. If we are spending billions and billions and trillions probably of dollars to get the flu shots, get them out to your local Walgreens and CVS and inject everybody and the babies and mama's got to convince the baby, I get the flu shot, it hurts, mommy. Well, baby, you got to get this. It's going to prevent the flu. You got to get this or you're going to get the flu. And so the baby's, all right, I'll get it, you know. I seen that face, but it wasn't a flu shot or something else. In your kid. And then the baby, don't picture the Trump. Picture a 5-year-old watching TV right now. Everybody running in the street, buying Home Depot masks, paper masks, just to fight the flu. Listening to the theories of 5G and bioweapons and the flu coming. The flu spreading from across China to Europe on airplanes, boats, cars, trains, and submarines. And the 5-year-old in the ultimate powerful question. But for the last 5 years of my life, I done got the flu shot. Mommy said it's gonna protect me from the flu. And then here come the flu that everybody's worried about. Mommy lying. That's what it is, mommy. Mommy lying like hell. All right, no, but daddy too. I think it's a good question. I think there's some very ingenious points to this question. If they're creating a flu virus, the flu vaccine, they're putting just breaking everything up, killing it, chunking up, and sticking it in a vial and injecting people with it. How come we worried about the flu? How come they can't do? I think Trump got a great question. I think y'all think it's funny. I'm asking. I laughed at first. I'm not laughing now. He got a good point. How come they can't do what George Washington did? You know what they did in their day where they created the vaccines? They would I forgot the disease it was or the pandemic it was at that time with that particular war. But when somebody was dying, they get some of the goo off of the scab. They realized if they got some of the goo off, I got doctors and friends here, y'all correct this. They got the goo and they gave it to people, and that's where vaccines came from. They find that, you know, some of y'all die, it's okay, but some of y'all will get better. And it creates immunity, right? Getting the goo. Now, they didn't have big laboratories and economic systems and synthetic drugs and all kind of other synthetics that they put in there, monkey tissue, but they just took some of the goo off of the scab and gave it to people, and they found out that it worked. I think he's got a great question. Well, once again, I trust all vaccination methods before money. Every last one, all of them, they all work. They all work. The ones after money did not work. So I think this is a great question. I think it's a great question. And the other question will be, why are we going to an industry that creates all types of immune problems by selling synthetic drugs all throughout the CVS's and the pharmaceutical industry and the Walmarts and the Walgreens? How come we're going to them if they're debilitating your immune system with synthetic drugs through epigenetic gene flips to actually fix the coronavirus, and then getting presidents to give them billions of dollars to not only solve the problem that they make a problem by doing the same thing war does, creating conditions in your body that debilitate your immune system so a flu can actually become a pandemic? I think it's a great question. No, Trump did not ask that. He didn't ask that. Because no, I think there's, like I was telling a brother on the thread, I think that there's always a good point between the cracks. I think all presidents do it. I think they all tell you the truth between the cracks, whether they know it or not, whether they're trying to. I don't think they fight the deep state. I don't think you can fight the deep state. I think at this point, all you can do is collapse the things that the deep state needs. It needs a Pentagon for endless war, to create pandemics by destroying countries, keeping technology from them, or spreading bioweapons, or turning on 5Gs, whatever you believe. It's all pandemics are sourced in taking something that's natural, organic, it's a part of the ecosystem of flu, and creating conditions in the world, in a city, destabilizing a country or a body by giving them Twinkies or headache medicine or any of the other synthetics that cause problem with the immune system. I think it's a good question. And I had to give an example on Obama. Remember that time Obama, what did he say? He was in, where was he, in South America somewhere? And he had that teleprompter read just going, because people don't picture every time I see a politician talking, I see a teleprompter. And I remind myself that they're just reading. He's not giving a speech. He's just reading, and he didn't write the speech either. He's saying what they tell him to say. Obama was talking, where was he? Somebody gave me that link a while ago. He was talking somewhere in Latin America, and the teleprompter fell and broke. And he looked like a rabbit in the headlights. It's the same thing. That's why, see, the key to presidents is to know the president doesn't exist. The key to presidents in the Matrix is to know it's not a spoon. The spoon really isn't there. It's not there. I don't see who the president is. I just try to look between the cracks. When Obama's teleprompter broke, what did he tell you? There's a man in the room with a gun. I'm a little nervous at this point because I feel I'm gonna say something that he's not gonna like. And the crowd was like, ah! And I'm like, yeah, it was funny. It wasn't that funny. That man done told you something. I think they all I think they all know. I think they all know who controls the world. And Q would say that he asked this question, I guess, because he was trying to let everybody know about the deep state. I don't know that to be true. I just know you got to read between the cracks. All pandemics come from our ignorance, period. End of story. That's it. Correlation. I got it. I was watching a good talk about the top 7 pandemics. And they're all attached to capital. They're all attached to economics. They're all attached to creating environments where flus can become pandemics. That's it. And you always got a Jon Snow. That's the wrong Jon Snow. I like the other Jon Snow. You always got a Jon Snow that says, no, the modern paradigm is wrong. The modern paradigm is the paradigm because it's profitable. Fight the power. Rage against the machine. It's not the air. It's not the cadavers. It's the damn water. Now, he got it wrong. He thought it was on the handle, but it was the water. you know? And this is the point I'm making about you need to have healers and shamans and medical professionals with free speech. And this gets back to the whole Julian Assange thing, right? You know, you need people to speak. The answer to bad speech is more speech, right? When the medical establishment says something stupid, you need a Jon Snow, you need a Dr. Sebi, you need someone else to say something else to combat it, and you have this public discourse, and we can all sit back and listen to the professionals. But when you have governments that drive and guide and determine what they can say, when you have economic systems and their retirement and grant money that determines what they can and can't say, then you'll never have public discourse over anything that's true. Right? The basis of every pandemic is ignorance. It is. Bacteria doesn't cause pandemics. Bacteria cause flu, okay? Pandemics are caused by us. They're all artificial. All right, that's it. That's all I gotta say. That was the extent of my research. You should watch the video on the Spanish flu. Oh my God, and just ask, do you wanna be in this world? Do you wanna be in? They said there was so much blood on the floor in the hospital. The nurses were wading through the blood. So many dead bodies, so many people dying. They didn't have time to clean up the damn floor. Like a Saturday morning, you can watch some cartoons and you want to go outside and play, and your mom say you got to clean up. Yes, there's some issues there. That's not the point. They said the nurses were wading through blood to treat patients. Blood all over the hospital. They didn't have time at nighttime to clean the hospitals. 5,000 people a day dying. Another good example, right? Because so it's not just the Spanish flu. And it's, well, okay, I'm sorry. It's not. It's the Alabama flu. the Alabama flu that they culturally misappropriated and called it the Spanish flu because people from Alabama was fighting the war, went to Spain. Okay, syphilis is another one. You know where syphilis came from? Came from a bacteria in America, right? Came from colonization. War. What is it good for? Absolutely, pandemics. Okay, pandemics. They took the syphilis bacteria back to Europe, and the Europeans couldn't deal with it. I think it was France, if I'm not mistaken. France, exactly. And they decided, for whatever reason, they wanted to have a party. They invited the sex workers and they had the bacteria. Next thing you know, syphilis is a thing. It's a pandemic, and people start dying. Pandemic. Ignorance. Ignorance is the source of all pandemics. Flu's been here since the beginning of time. Flus would not wipe out the human race. We will wipe out the human race. That's part of the reason why I'm laughing. Because it's just us. It's just us. If we don't evolve past these systems that create conditions destabilizing a world, does anybody know? Is anybody playing global police? Anybody know anybody playing global? Does anybody know anybody playing global security that has no damn idea what security is? Does anybody know anybody? I know somebody. I know a couple bodies that are just landing, dropping bodies all over the planet. They're creating conditions that allows pandemics to spread. Cold wars, hiding technology, governments with secret information, and they don't even know what security is, right? Like, what is security? We talked about this a while ago. What is neighborhood security? Is the same thing as global security. Creating conditions that don't allow pandemics to spread through global conflicts. Creating conditions in your neighborhood that make your neighbors feel safe. Creating conditions in your neighborhood where they don't have to rob you for food, they have it. You want earth security the same way that local security works. Feed your neighbors, be kind to them, build community. You don't build security around the world with weapons. If you want a secure neighborhood, you feed them. They say, oh, thank you for the tomatoes, Mr. White man, or black man, or white woman, or black woman, a Christian or Muslim, whatever the hell you are, or you think you are. And then they're happy. They become secure. They got food. Oh, you don't have candles? We got candles for you. Oh, what you need? You need some eggs, you need sugar. You build friendship. Your neighborhood becomes secure because you build very secure connections with people around you who don't need to rob you because they have artificial scarcity or lack because you withheld something from them. The same way to build world security from pandemics and war and extinction is the same way you do it at the local level. You feed people, you look out for people, you build community, so you all look out for each other because you know bacteria is not looking out for you. Bacteria is trying to kill you. Bacteria is trying to create the next flu. You are ignorant, beyond ignorant. If you are a species that withholds technology from the public, does it in a closed source perspective, everything needs to be open source, and you're ignorant if you keep the conditions that create destabilized world environments and murder you. That's ignorance. The end of this book is extinction. If we don't change, the end of this book, and it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing, and everything is going to be all right. Because if we are that ignorant, we can't exist. All right. Now I'm just going to read this entire. I think it's ridiculously funny that we think security is actually more weapons. All they're doing is I'm about to spit up something. Some cocoa virus. I shook the man's hand on accident. I told you I was late because I had to holler at a brother. He's having trouble with his woman. And I shook his hand on like my man. What's going on? Hey, fist bump, air, whatever. We did the Spock thing, whatever. And when he left, we didn't had that conversation. It was a little deep. And we walked away. I shook. All right, brother. The coronavirus. Now they're going to die. I'm probably about to vomit that up. No, it's just ridiculous. Security isn't getting more weapons. You're not making anything secure. That's called domination. That's called destroying things and creating environments that's going to kill all of us. I know I shook his hand. I wasn't supposed to. This might be my last video. Did y'all know that the Spanish flu became so evolved in its capitalistic system of stealing energy that it could kill a human being in 12 hours? Did y'all? 12 hours. That we are so stupid that we created conditions to allow a flu to become so virulent that it could murder people in 12 hours. 12. I think we're going to beat that. We're going to beat that. It could build a career economic system. It went to nursery school, learned conflict, it learned survival of the fittest, and it learned how to thrive in a human being and murder in 12 hours. I think we can beat that. I do. I think with our global conflicts now, I think we can beat that. If war creates pandemics, and what does endless war create? I think we can beat that time. And it probably won't even be coronavirus. It won't be cocoa virus, because it's like the Spanish flu. The first version, it puffed out, but it waited. Second version didn't puff out. It got a couple million people, I believe. Third version, it went global with its career. It took over. It was the perfect conditions for war. That's why the bubonic plague is in. Yes, I called it bubonic. It technically is bubonic, but I need another cup of coffee. It stayed in Oregon. It's just percolating. That's all. It's learning to thrive on our ignorance. It's waiting till we have conditions where it can take over. It's like, from a physiological perspective, it's like, what is that thing called everybody get now? Because the doctors are giving chemotherapy drugs away, calling it candy. They call it the doctor's candy, the first class of drugs that doctors derive direct profit from. They're giving it away. The chemotherapy drugs, the immunosuppressive drugs. Everybody gets it when you get on them. What is that thing that y'all get pain and the rashes and itch and painful? Everybody gets it because it lives in your body. Everybody has it. Everybody has probably most of the bacteria that cause most of the flus on the planet. It's just waiting for you to eat enough Twinkies and ice cream and sugar and soda pop. It's just waiting for you to debilitate your immune system to create the destabilized condition in your body, the same way we destabilize nations for profit to steal their resources. It just waits for you to destabilize your immune system. And it takes over. Shingles, that's what it's called, shingles. How come y'all didn't get that? Are y'all watching the lectures that we talk about? All right, shingles. Shingles is just waiting for you to be stupid. That's all. It's like the bubonic plague hiding out in the water in Oregon. Anyway, I'm gonna read comments and I gotta go because I started late. But I still got more research to do. Yes, shingles. Oh, there you go. Patricia Howard, don't act like you just posted it. She act like, I posted it a minute ago. I bet you didn't you posted that after I said that, didn't you? Because Patricia, she like games. She like to play. Shingles. It's just waiting in your body. It's waiting for you to be stupid. That's what all these plagues are doing. The bacteria is just waiting for those conditions to come about for it can thrive and to murder us. Same thing as your CIA. All right. Fight the deep state, stop consuming and spending. That's it, Susan. That's it. You want the deep state? If Trump was fighting the deep state, he would not only take a salary, he would give away everything that he has. He'd get a tiny house, burn down the White House, live in a tiny house, have a garden behind it. If you're fighting the deep state, all you got to do is stop spending. That's it. Stop buying, stop spending. And the deep state collapses, but you're not going to fight the deep state. They've been building this thing for a long time. They got laser weapons and UFOs and levitation crafts and 5Gs and death earth rays and pandemic bioweapons. You're not going to fight if he were actually fighting the deep state the way Bob Marley was, he'd already have foot cancer. How you fight it? You just take out what it stands on. Your corrupt, crony economic system that allows for ignorance to thrive around the planet, making everybody stupid, going to preschool, teaching children how to be in conflict with one another, to get better grades, to get better jobs, to make more money, to prop the system up as a table, like table legs. That's how you get rid of it, Susan. Susan's right on it. That's it. Anybody fighting the deep state ain't spending money. That's it. Buy local. Fix things. Don't buy nothing new. That's it. That's how you fight the deep state. It's not, you don't log on. Does Q have a website? No, you don't go to Q's website. Q ain't gonna tell you how to fight that. That common sense tells you how to fight deep state, people. Obama didn't fight no damn deep state, neither did Trump. And I don't blame them. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. You are literally empowering the deep state with the education system. You destroy it. You create little school marms again. You send people to go have their own little school. You empower teachers and principals in little schoolhouse buildings with 30 kids. That's how you fight the deep state. You don't fight the deep state giving it billions of dollars in pharmaceutical tax stipends. You don't take money from the people you're poisoning and give it to the pharmaceutical industry so they can go out and make a vaccine. All right, they got a shingles vaccine too, by the way, which I ain't gonna take. I don't believe they made the shingles vaccine after they made money, so I can't take it. What's that, Lori? You can't get You can't get shingles without chickenpox earlier in life. Okay, so they hang together. They hang together. They run like a crew, like MS-13 gangs. They hang together like war and pandemics. They hang together like pharmaceutical industries and death. And I believe in the pharmaceutical industry. I love them to death. I used to work in the pharmaceutical industry. I'm just going to tell you that it's the model. It's not the people. It's not the companies. It's the model. As long as you got a model on making synthetic drugs that debilitate your immune system, that flip your genes through epigenetics, they're never going to do anything decent. The model is literally for them to create destruction in your body. But to solve one thing, it makes penis hard or something. I don't know, it makes your booby swell up or something. It gets rid of the blue bumps. It does, but it causes all kind of other problems. So when that flu finds a little lands in your eye because somebody coughed in the movie theater, it can thrive in your body. We literally have a model that's based in failure. And that's why it's always about the model. It ain't about the Trump. Can you still get shingles if you got pox from the from the vaccine? I don't know, Hillary. I can't answer that question. My studies in YouTube University did not cover that. We got nurses and doctors on here. You can ask them. I don't like that. I tell you what I know. I ain't gonna tell you what I don't know. I don't play with nobody's health. I only play a doctor when I never play a doctor. I ain't no damn doctor. Ain't no damn nurse. I know software and engineering and innovation. That's what I know. The rest of it is trouble and problem analysis, root cause analysis. That's what I do. That's what I did for 20 years of my life, propping up the deep state as a table leg, trying to make as much money as I can. Okay, I speak to that, but I'm gonna let them answer that question because I don't know. That's not a thing for me. I don't answer hard questions like the brother this morning that made me late. I ain't gonna tell him what to do. What should I do up with these woman problems? Well, I tell you, so listen, women just like men when it comes to this stuff, just women a little sneakier with it. Okay, at the end of the thing, when things going wrong, just understand and everybody say stuff that they don't really believe, right? Everybody, like there's a common sense thing. Most people don't want to trust the demon. I mean, rather be with the demon you know than the demon you don't. Okay? It's better to be with the demon you know than the demon you don't. And I'm not even sure why I'm talking about this at this moment in time. But in the end of it, people, they say things they don't believe, like pharmaceutical industries. Thrive on that. No, you gotta walk away. You're gonna go with that demon that you don't know? For me, you're gonna go with that instead? Okay, you just walk away. Walk away. Let them see how it feels. Because usually when people got somebody else and they with somebody else, it's all fantasy. It's just newness. When that newness ends and they realize you stink too, they realize they're gonna argue and fuss and fight with you too. They realize that everybody's different. They come running back to you. Same way you fight a deep state, Susan. You walk away. Stop buying from them. Stop propping them up. See how the government like it, but don't nobody vote for them. See what happens. That's all you got to do. You want a peaceful solution? Just let them walk away. Walk away. Say, all right, well, listen, if y'all Democrats and Republicans, if y'all want to go with corporations and stay in oligarchy, you can do that, but you're not going to do it with me. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go buy my tomatoes locally. I'm going to get my cucumbers locally. I'm going to save my seeds, buy me some land, try to live peacefully off grid. And if you really want to go with corporations, see how they work out for y'all. They'll come running back. They'll come running back. Because the corporations don't give two damns about the government. They don't give two damns about them politicians. When they're done with them, they don't need the politicians anymore, the logic people putting puppets in place. They're gonna get rid of them too. That's how you get your government to do something, is you stop supporting them. That's how you bring back your ex trying to walk away. You just gotta walk away from it. Let them see how the real world feels, right? If you were a decent person, if you were decent voters and you really believed that you wanted to vote in the system and help people, build a secure planet, help your country, all of that stuff, your neighbors, all you gotta do is walk away. Let them see how it feels. They'll come running back. Did Napoleon have syphilis? Most likely, Megs, because I think Napoleon was at those parties. That's how it spread. They got a bunch of the sex workers together that had the bacteria from America. And they spread syphilis everywhere. It was profitable. It's profitable. You can't get people to come to a party with Napoleon, hang out with everybody else, unless you got somebody there tricking. And they learned the hard way. They learned it, and you can't blame the sex workers neither, because they wanted to make profit too. Capital is the reason pandemics exist, baby. That's the only reason. And they spread it. They ain't tell nobody. They got that little bump down there. I ain't telling nobody. Oh, you paying? Y'all got money? Oh, y'all bring Napoleon? He got some money? Oh, damn. He got a whole chest of money. Oh, no, I ain't telling him about that purple bump. No, get on over here. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. Is there a pneumonia vaccine? Both fun. I don't understand that question. I grow my own toenails. Yeah, you should grow your own toenails, Daniel. But in the future, you won't have to. They probably have synthetic toenails for you. We are the virus. Go on, Jennifer Willoughby. Tell them we are the virus. Thank you. Thank you. This is why I hang out with these people, because they say wise things. We literally are the cuckoo virus. We made it. We made it. We prop it up. The cuckoo virus is a worldwide deep state. Right? We give profit to bacteria trying to kill us. We create the condition. We're the cuckoo virus. We are 5G. We are, what else everybody so scared of? What's in the news? All the stuff that we're scared of. We're war. We're all a part of it. We're all a part of it. We got to do what Susan said. We got to walk away, people. All right, just playing. What are you playing about? Ah, dang, it went down. I couldn't even see it. Ew, it sucks when your privates get diseases. Lots of laughter. It does suck, Megs. I'm not sure if you're telling us. It does suck, which is why people should kind of keep them things to themselves and private conversations with peoples, with his own peoples, and not share around with everybody else. But that's the same thing with STDs. It's just now bacteria and viruses waiting to find profitable lands. Profitable lands. Oh, you could get real deep with that. You could start thinking about HIV and how that works. There was a researcher, it was a scientist who said it's interesting that you only find HIV transmission with other STDs, that where you have a weakened immune system and that STD, I'm probably saying it wrong, because like I said, I only play a doctor when I ain't playing no damn doctor. That it tags along, and then that's how they started to link it to immune deficiency. That it tags along with other STDs. You have to have a debilitating immune system for it to find profitable lands. You have to have a debilitated earth being kept in constant destabilizing governments through CIAs in order for pandemics to get root. That makes sense. But then you gotta also, Max, gotta have a freak. You gotta have somebody that just doesn't seem to figure out that there's always bacteria and everybody, coochie and Tallynack, is waiting to get on you. You can't have too many in you can't have too many in your day. You can't have too many in your week, in your month, in your year. There's nothing wrong with monogamy. People say, oh, well, that came from the church. It came from the church, but it's common damn sense. The human beings are dirty. Okay? There's a little dirty bunch. It's probably why the aliens don't come down here. Because they came down in the past and got a little freaky deaky. Who was that? The Sons of Light and the film came down, started breeding with everybody. They probably got something. That's probably why the gods don't come back. The gods will never leave and forsake you, but they came down and got some human earth STDs. That's why they ain't come back. They flew up there. You know what? I went down there and they went and gave me the blue bumps. What the hell? The hell's a blue bump? We ain't got blue on our planet, and the guys done left. They got in them spaceships, got the hell out of here. All right, I don't know. It's a theory. But I work with it. We'll see what happens. Gerard did his research. Correct. I do my research, Harley. I'm telling you, I am a YouTube thug, brother. Get out to YouTube University. You know what I do? I don't do any research. I don't do any research. Research and watching videos is different. Okay, I'm in a conflict-based economic system where I do, what do I call it? I'll do in between slavery and picking cotton bags. I try to determine what I shouldn't be doing. That's what I do. And so I listen to doctors and lectures and determine the ones I want to listen to. I listen to people like Jon Snow, somebody fighting the system, fighting the power. Where the right Jon Snow at? Hang on. I listen to people who are fighting the current profitable paradigm. There you go. Jon Snow, he did the same thing, Game of Thrones. He fought the current profitable paradigm. That's where truth relies. That's where truth lies. And then common sense, Harley. Then common sense. Because we never know what's going on. Everything's controlled opposition. Everything's being controlled. All the information on the internet is allowed on the internet for a reason. Just think about it. Just process that. You got to use some common sense. Use some common sense. Oh, yes, herbal meds too, Lori. That's what you need to earn herbal meds to do what Michael just said right there. Raise your immune system. That's how you protect yourself from the cuckoo virus, because your government is cuckoo and they're going to keep creating conditions to create pandemics. And so you don't have to say it's a bioweapon. You don't actually have to say it's 5G. It is the government. No matter how you look at it, it's the capitalistic system and the government, and we support them. So this is how the world is supposed to be. We're supposed to have a pandemic, and if you ask me, we're lucky. You ask me, we didn't earn a cuckoo virus, this fluffing earned the black plague, and we earned the dark black obsidian plague right now. We've earned that. We have endless war. In the baby wars, you had pandemics. Now we got banks printing endless money for endless wars that we won't stop on every damn continent. All over this planet, we are creating kids. We should have something massive destroying us. But anyway, all right, I'm done. I just found it interesting. I found it interesting that you can actually link pandemics to a war. You can link pandemics to war zones. You can link pandemics to poverty. We can ban war. And we can ban, there we go. I just got shut down. Your post goes against community standards and hate speech and inferiority. Dang, I hit all of them. No one else can see this post. We have these certain groups and people being described as inferior to others. Did y'all see that on YouTube? They're gone. Bye, Facebook. Bye-bye. I knew it's coming. I knew it was coming. There you go. Your live stream will stop because it contains content. Ooh, I'm getting posts up everywhere. Boop, 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 popping up everywhere. You're saying things that to stop. You're saying stop creating conditions that create viruses. You know what? This is how it goes, people. And they delete that video right there. They do not want you talking from a common sense perspective. They need to keep war. They need to keep banning the things that cause these problems. Let me make it a little bigger. What are the community standards? What did we say in this conversation that goes against the standards of a community? War. You can't talk against war. You have to like war. You have to be okay with war. What else is it right here? Hate speech. Did anybody hear any hate speech? Was there any hate speech in there? Anybody get any hate speech? What was the hate speech? I know I probably said something. I probably said some hate. What'd I say? I said, the way you combat bad speech is with more speech. That's hate. No, because you have to be able to silence things you don't like. No, Facebook did not crash, Susan. They did. I'm reading. Let me show you the message right here. Facebook did not crash. Nope. They said I violated community standards. Look at this right here. Right there. Boom. Your post goes against community standards on hate speech and inferiority. No one else can see your post. And then it deleted. That's it. They have no interest in you talking about this. They need a popular one group narrative for everything. Everything is about profit. That's it. Everything's about profit. Dude, this vid just disappeared on Facebook. I know, Patricia. I know. Because you can't talk about things like that. Is this Facebook calling me? It's Facebook. No, this ain't Facebook. Hey, listen, we want to let you know that you're not supposed to talk about getting rid of war, man. You can do videos here, but you can't talk about getting rid of war and profitable economic systems and creating all types of pandemic destabilized countries around the world. The only thing you can't do, and it's a good thing that they do this, is what I try to tell people, is because you'll start to realize who's behind all of this. NATO, Global Alliance, what's it, Global Alliance? Doing the censoring there. That's what it is. They control it all. And as long as they got it on lock, we in trouble. We're in trouble. You won't get truthful information on the internet because they control all of it. All of it, from the bottom to the top, to the top to the bottom. They want to keep the handle on. See? You see how that works? They need to keep the handle on. You cannot have Jon Snow telling you to take the handle off the water pump. They need that Pentagon. They need the economic systems. They need the scarcity. They need to continue to turn flus into pandemics through capitalism and capital. That's all. That's it. That's all it is. No, yeah, it did not crash. Got booted. Yes, they deleted it. They was like, hell no, you're not saying that here. Yes, it's a group think, Hillary. It's group. But you know what? It's worse than that because it's group. Let me close this up right here. It is group think, but they need to control the think. Right? It's a little worse than group think because you have group think where you can have different people coming together thinking a certain way, but then you can have group think where they control the think. If they control the data, they control the think. If they can control the type of discussions people have, if they can control the data that's allowed in the discourse, then they can control the positions that everybody takes. And if they don't want you to take a position and fix the pharmaceutical industry, right? If they don't want they don't allow you to take a position and stop war creating these environments, then they control the outcomes. So it's always about that. It's always about controlling the data to control the outcomes. And it's working. It's working for the retailers. Absolutely. And so the other thing, Hillary, is just economics too, right? It's not just the war side, but it's also the advertisers. It's a very simple thing. You want to be able to sell online advertisement, then you have to be able to stay on the narrative of the people buying the advertisement, the corporations. And so if most of your advertisement is coming from the pharmaceutical industry, you can't have people talking about fix the pharmaceutical industry. See, I'm not talking about socialized pharmaceutical industry. I'm talking about literally fixing it, letting them go back to being healers again. You got to get rid of the AMA. You got to get rid of the American Medical Association. You got to get rid of the single point of failure. You got to get rid of the cronyism. You have to let doctors go back to being healers, which is what most doctors want to do. Nobody wants to be controlled. The doctors literally want to help, but they're not allowed to help, right? And this is the whole point of like Rockefeller and creating the whole pharmaceutical industry around the narrative that's completely controlled by a few. Same problem I saw in my industry. Now, I mean, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. From an IT perspective, if you control all the technology on the planet, if we continue to develop technology that makes us weak, technology that we're dependent upon, but we keep pushing that technology to fewer and fewer corporations, fewer and fewer people, then what does that mean? That means the human race is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You know that what's the mutant guy's name? Mr. Glass. You know Mr. Glass? He's the one whose bones are brittle. We're literally making the human race's bones brittle, more brittle and more brittle and more brittle. We're getting weaker and weaker and weaker, but we're being controlled. That technology is being controlled through patents and Silicon Valleys and corporations and a few powerful elite who own governments. We're literally being walked. We're walking ourselves into being controlled by a very few. We're literally making a very fragile human race. And so it's the same thing with the pharmaceutical industry. It's no different. They want to control the narrative. They want to control the narrative from a technological perspective, a pharmaceutical perspective. What is clean water? What is acceptable chemicals? What is pesticide? What is fertilizer? It's a full spectrum cronyism. Right? Same exact thing. Fluoride is horrifyingly painful. It is mistreated to us. It's not to the fluoride companies. To the fluoride companies, it works. And this is how the world actually works. The world doesn't work the way that we want it to. The world works the way that it is, right? It fights the Jon Snows who were saying, hey, it's the handle. We need to get rid of the handle. But if you're the handle maker, you don't like that so much. If you're the handle maker, you can buy politicians, buy laws, political parties, and nations. You can't have anybody walking around saying, get rid of the handle, because you need people to get sick. Or you don't really care if people get sick. You just want to sell the handle. Back in the jail too. I don't know, Christine, am I in jail? Did my page disappear? I don't know. It's off of your timeline. Yeah, they deleted it. It's gone. It's off your timeline. Yeah, so it was hate speech. That's exactly what it said. I I said something that was hateful. I want somebody to tell me what was the hateful thing I said. This is how you know. The same way when you listen to presidents talk, you listen to the puppets talk, and you look between the cracks. When they start banning and censoring things, you know that you're actually hitting a painful spot with their advertising. All right. Painful to the pineal gland. Yeah, it is. Well, it's what? Fluoride, Hillary, and chlorine that calcifies the pineal gland. And they proved that, by the way, didn't they? Didn't they finally prove that that DMT is released from the pineal gland? And in mammals also? And that's another whole super deep rabbit hole that we have to go down as a species. The fact that we create DMT and it's released when we sleep and when we die, what these psychedelic trips are. These are questions that boggle the mind of people who don't believe in the standard narrative. We're a little more than what they thought. And it can be calcified by what's in the water. Crazy questions. But that's the time we live in. We live in a time where pretty much everything we're taught is a lie. We got, I don't want to see what's in some cracks. Neither do I, but sometimes we make the cracks got purple bumps. And if you're an alien hanging out on Earth, then damn it, you might get an STD. We literally leave cracks and purple bumps everywhere for the next generation. Speed bumps. Currency-based economic printing money systems that need to go away. So there are a lot of cracks we need to look in. There's a difference, Megs, between looking in the crack and seeing down the road that you don't leave that for kids and putting something in the crack. Don't put nothing in that crack. Don't do that. This is America. This is the human race. This is artificial scarcity times. Do not put nothing in the crack. And the aliens figured that out. They've made the children of light. Just look in the crack. Get a little flashlight from a distance. Do what these people are doing on the airplanes. Get the body condoms. Wear a body condom and look in the crack. You be hating on bankers and big pharma. That's it, Patricia. That's all. It's just economics. There's no deep conspiracy. There's no CIA's trying to get you. No, it's just economics. You start hitting on truthful things that these corporations need to keep selling these drugs. They need to keep selling Home Depot paper masks. They need to keep selling the Tamiflu. They need to keep selling to the people to keep believing. They need to keep selling to the people to believe in Trump, believe in Obama, believe in the left, believe in the conflict paradigm instead of fixing things now so the kids down the future don't have to face things like pandemics. That's what it's always about. But that's how you know that you're kind of getting close to the crack. That's how you know. You're getting close. Don't go on the crack. Just get close to it. That's all you got to do. Tamarind actually cleans it. Okay, yeah, I think tamarind, a couple of natural herbs they post clean it, Hillary, to decalcify the pineal gland. Stopping the spiritual evolution, the worst they can do. Well, Christine, yes, the worst, but it's what they're supposed to do. It's what they're supposed to do. Like, they're not supposed to allow us to say these things. They're not really supposed to allow us to have these conversations. They shouldn't. It is their obligation and their requirement, the way the yin and the yang work, the dark drives the light, that they do what they do. Like, the only way we're motivated is in times, how does that saying go? That you get motivated. What is the biggest motivation? I know one of y'all know that quote. We talked about it a few days ago. Necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity is we are inventing new things, new thoughts, new concepts, looking back in the past at what they knew based on necessity. We now have a necessity. We realize that these pandemics are all over and they keep coming on a regular basis because we're not modifying the conditions that allow them to get created. So they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're driving us. The dark is supposed to drive the light. The light wouldn't exist without the dark. Right? And so somehow that's hate speech. They have to call it hate speech. If they don't call it hate speech, and I'm trying to, I need to make the comments bigger. They have to call it hate speech. If they don't call it hate speech, they're not doing their job. We don't get better unless they get worse. That's what I'm trying to say. Hang on. Keep aspect ratio. I want to make it bigger so I can actually see the comments. I don't know how to, well, see if I do that, then it gets weird. See, that's just weird. I hit aspect ratio. I just want to make it taller. Yep, and that's another whole pharmaceutical conversation. Holding up the system, buying their products from them that make them taller. Let me see, top life, auto crop, rotate, transform, keep aspect ratio. No, that would have been done by now. I'm still running my mouth because it's obviously, oh, there you go. Enhance resize, maybe that's the button. Because apparently we hit on something, so we should keep talking. Nope, that's not doing it. I don't know how to do it while I'm live, so we're just gonna deal with it just the way it is right there. All right. Sorry, Facebook, fake bookers. I had to say it again. Yeah, well, no, yeah, don't be sorry, Susan. This is what they're doing their job. They got to drive us. We are not a virus. We are a. I can look over here. Hold on. Codependent, abusive relationship. We just need the courage to walk away. The abusers want you to believe you are the problem when you're the solution. Absolutely, absolutely, and they're doing their jobs. That's Susan again. That's Susan again. Oh, I can go up on the comments. It's a little easier to do than Facebook. Glutathione is not an herb. It's something our bodies make that is depleted by Tylenol. You can buy and take boosters. Oh, it's depleted by Tylenol. Well, then that makes sense. That makes perfectly good sense then, Hillary, because most people take Tylenol. Most people have headaches. And not only that, but we build an economy and slavery and an economic system that people hate to go to work on Monday. That give them headaches. We make the kids crazy. We manufacture mental illness so people take more Tylenol. See, now it all starts to make a lot of sense to you. You look at it from that perspective, right? Like we were looking at, who posted the link on the brain scans, right? The brain scans. The doctor who was saying, we gotta look at the brain. That's how we find the problems. Look at the brain. We can't just keep trying to treat people without looking at the brain. You gotta look at the brain. So they started doing brain scans looking at the brain. Well, when you look at the brain, you can see the problem. Right? Because then the neuroscientists have that discussion. Well, okay, well, that makes sense. And there's certain portions of the brain used for this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. You know, where do they come from? They come from people who are grown in very, very wealthy environments, or they're grown from people who are in very, very scarce environments. So we know that most mental illness comes from the society. We literally flip these things called warrior genes, 27 genes that regulate the development of the human brain. And when you're born in America, some of them shut off. You're born in France in the ghetto in a bad neighborhood, some of them shut off so you can become a warrior. And you can survive in a world where we destabilize environments for profit that create pandemics from flus that never would be that way. And then people take headache medicine because they got headaches because mental illness is running all around everywhere. Makes perfectly good sense. And you have the carry-on effect is for to treat your headache. No, it's actually to help what's that? Regulate the glutathiones, Hillary? I don't know. I'm not sure I pronounced it correctly. And but it creates a problem. And so all the pandemics are artificial. They always have been. We have to evolve out of the nonsense. Ignorance is the source of all of our problems. The only reason Facebook would take down the video, ignorance. That's it. They need to keep people ignorant. They cannot let people discover consciousness. They gotta control the conversation. So they're doing what they're supposed to. We can't wait for something natural to work. Oh, what are y'all talking about, Hillary? Anyway, we can't wait for something natural to work? Do your research? What are y'all talking about? That's why pediatricians say to take after well visits. Take after well visits. Oh, okay. So natural. Well, wait a minute. Pediatricians say take a natural herb. What are y'all talking about? Now I'm confused. Somebody take this bag of snakes and lay it out straight for me. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Usually I don't listen to my doctors, and I stopped listening to my pediatrician, Hillary. I got in a lot of trouble, and my kids discovered health when I stopped going to them. It was the craziest thing. I went to go talk to my doctor once, had my son with a pediatrician. And this woman, she was just coughing up a storm. She probably had the earlier workings of the cuckoo virus, just coughing it up. Oh, my kid. I was thinking, And I was processing. I'm not the smartest and the fastest ship in the fleet, Hillary, but I was processing. I'm bringing I, who am well, at that time hadn't been sick in years, and I knew I was doing something right, bringing my kid who's sick to this lady who is sick. I, who am well, who don't get sick, bringing my kid to this lady, and she coughing up the cuckoo virus and some bubonic plague. And then she asked me something stupid to help me to process. She said, "Are you getting all your healthy proteins?" I said, "Am I getting my what?" I said, "Well, I said, lady, I'm a vegetarian. And all protein comes from the sun, right? That's the beginning of the source of protein. It comes from solar radiation. The plants get it, and animals eat the plants. Other animals eat the animals, ate the plants. I just get it from the root source." Well, you want to try to make sure that you get more protein in your diet, and not all of it comes from plants. And I just like, okay. I don't get sick, you get sick, and he's sick. And that was the last of the pediatrician. I fired her. I was like, that's it, we're done. And now my son is in college, and he ain't been sick in, what he says, 5, 6, 7 years. I don't remember him being sick. Right after that, when I stopped doing what the doctor said, he didn't get sick. So I ignore all of them. It doesn't mean doctors are wrong. It just means that we have a central point of control system called the American Medical Association that controls what doctors say. And we got to free the doctors. I say it all the time. Let the doctors go. Let them be healers. But until then, I'm very cautious with everybody says. I don't trust my doctor. I don't trust my politician. I don't trust my electrician. I don't trust my plumber. I don't trust because it has nothing to do with doctors. It's just in general. You cannot trust professionals in a society for cronyism that's designed for everyone to thrive if they create a bottleneck of information. So I don't trust nobody. I check everything. Whatever my plumber says, I check on that. In fact, for the most part, I kind of fired him too. I do all my own plumbing. I got YouTube now. So I don't need them. All right. I think they just took my post about G's live feed. Oh, about the live feed. You took the live feed down, the post about the live feed, Patricia Hauser? I hope so. I hope so. It means we didn't hit a mark. It means we didn't hit something. If they took down, if you had a post about a post, it means we really saying something important here. Makes a lot of sense. All right, there we go. Jeez, Patricia, you're on the radar. Oh, Patricia, stay on the radar. Deborah, she'll never get off the radar. She like to stay right on that radar. She's like to stay right there. She like to make sure Banks is always on her back. No question about that. But that's what we have to do. We have a purpose for being here. And if your passion is for saying truthful things, then you need to say what's true. And they're supposed to be on your back. That's supposed to happen. If people are starving the world into conflict by printing just enough money to keep everybody in conflict, to create systems or conditions that create pandemics in San Francisco, that's supposed to be on your back, especially if you got people in San Francisco that you love called humans. All right. Ooh, what about Advil? I don't know nothing about Advil, Megs. I don't know nothing about, all I know about Advil is synthetic. That's what I know. I think Tylenol was actually made off of a natural compound. I believe it was, or they tried to create it from a tree bark, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know anything about Advil. I know I used to take Advil, Megs. I had pain, and I would take the Advil, and the pain go away. So I'm smart enough to learn, Megs, and maybe I shouldn't be doing things that cause me pain. I stopped doing stupid stuff. So I didn't need to take the Advil that's synthetic that causes gene alteration through epigenetics and environment. So to give me cancer down the road, or leukemia, or autism, or Alzheimer's, or something 40 years down the road. I'm not a synthetic person. So I don't take synthetic drugs, Megs. If I had to, I would, but I don't have to. So I try to eat the things and drink the things that don't bring pain, to reduce the amount of times I got to take things to get rid of my ignorance. Right? The same reason my Facebook post got taken down. Getting rid of ignorance. That's not a profitable thing. It's not profitable in the short term, right? It's profitable in the long term. It's expensive to end war in terms of debilitating the economic systems. It's expensive to get rid of banking and capital in the short term because it's going to hurt a lot of very wealthy people. But in the long run, it's a great thing. Great thing. That's why pediatricians say take it after well visits. Okay, that's what y'all talking about. Tylenol. We are the weenies that medicate ourselves at the drop of a hat. Yes, we are, Lori, which is why I don't blame the pharmaceutical industry. Don't give me that Facebook, the Mark Zuckerberg. Don't look at me like, yeah, it ain't gonna hurt me. You know, go anything. No, the problem isn't them. The problem is when people go to their doctor, people don't say, heal me. They don't say that. They don't say that. When I was in the pharmaceutical industry, I wasn't really worried about it because people go to their doctor and say, give me something to make me better now. When they go to their doctor, they go to them just how they used to go to them drug dealers in DC. they didn't say, oh, give me something that'll make me high in about 24 hours or in a week down the road. Give me something natural, some natural herbs to heal my body from the pain of slavery and make me feel better in about 8 hours. Hell no, they said, give me a pill right now to make me feel better right now. That's how people go to their doctor. And so it's illogical to blame the pharmaceutical industry. It's illogical to blame the doctors. It's illogical to blame the AMA because people, a lot of are part of the system. They hold it, once again, the legs that hold the table up. People go to their doctor and they say, give me something to make me feel better right now. I got slavery tomorrow. I got school tomorrow. It's a basketball game. I got tennis. Give me something to heal me right now. And of course, they got enough synthetic drugs coming out of the pharmaceutical industry to do it. Supply with demand. No, supply will always meet the demand. People start demanding natural medicine, which they are more and more, then you'll have more of that in the supply. And then they won't have to take down videos on Facebook and call it hate speech. That's the only thing I'm upset with. They call it hate speech. They literally called stop creating conditions that cause pandemics hate speech. These people are nuts. These people are crazy. These people gonna kill all of us, y'all. All right. For the 90% of the time, I found my own medicine, if not homeopathy. Well, right, Christine, and that's common sense. And they don't like common sense either. They don't like because you notice how she said 90% of the time? They don't like common sense. They like ignorant sense. See, even the pharmaceutical industry and synthetic drugs, they're a tool within a toolbox. This is an analogy that I like. All these systems, all of these things that help are tools. Right? The medical system is a wrench. The allopathic or acupuncture is a screwdriver. The natural herbs are a plumber's pipe. Like you got all these different tools in the box that you can utilize to solve problems. You can't keep going to the same tool for different problems, right? You can't go to the wrench when you need to screw something in, you go to the screwdriver. For me, I would take synthetic drugs if I absolutely had to, but I don't have to. I'll go to herbs first. I'll go to something natural first. I'll grow as much as I can of what I need the most. I grow a lot of aloe. Why? Because if I get some sort of skin rash, irritation, I'm out all the time, stung by bees and mosquitoes and stuff, I like to use aloe, so I grow my own aloe. So I always go for the natural solution first. But push come to shove, you have another tool in the box called medicine. And it's synthetic. I don't die without taking your medicine. That's stupid. You gotta do, this is when you listen to your doctor. When your herbalist don't make no damn sense and they ain't working. Naturopath don't make no damn sense, they ain't working. YouTube don't make no damn sense, they ain't working. But not YouTube. I'll go to professional people, not necessarily with degrees, professional people who know how to use natural things to solve problems first. Because I don't want the side effects, because I realize there are no side effects. There are real effects. If you go and take something synthetic in your body revolts against it the minute you put the pill down your throat. There are no side effects. That's your body saying, this is not supposed to be in here. This is causing damage in multiple systems in me. So you're only supposed to take a synthetic and alien compound that the human body has never ever seen unless you absolutely have to. And that's what the Rockefellers don't like. They make money on getting you to eat things and take medicines and their products by cronyism, right? They ban the natural medicines. They ban the painkillers. They ban the things that would allow you to escape their economic cronyism, terrorism that's debilitating people's immune systems and helping the pandemics, right? And so the only way they can do that is through legislation. They have to buy the politicians, the political parties, and this is why Trump just gave all that money, which is what Obama did. He gave all that money to the pharmaceutical industry. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. The problem is it's exposing us. It's making us weaker and weaker. The products and the commercials on TV are empowering an economic system that thrives on weakening humanity. And to me, I think that's a really bad idea. I don't think we should go that way. All right. Eight, what's against what? Second quarter profits? Question mark. Jonathan Close. I'm not sure what that is referring to. Wires and stuff that are fused into his own spine. What are we talking about? Are y'all replying to each other? YouTube's a little weird. I gotta get used to YouTube because apparently I'm probably off. Am I gone? Did they just take down the post? Did I get some strikes for a hate speech? And all I gotta do is end the conversation, because you can combat it and say, hey, this doesn't violate anything anywhere, and it won't matter, because they ended the conversation on for the people over there, the people who don't have a link on YouTube. Oh, by the way, you're gonna have to subscribe because we might be here for a minute. Okay, we use the same community standards around the world for everyone on Facebook. That's not true. That's not true. Different nations have different sensitivities, different profit models. So I don't believe that. We use either technology or a review team to remove anything that doesn't follow our standards as quickly as possible. They got it kind of quick. It's quick about that. That's the one truthful thing in that statement. But no, this is the problem with you, Facebook. The problem that y'all don't seem to realize is when we all dead, when they kill all us, when we all gone, you're not gonna have no customers. I don't know if they know that. Nobody's watching videos in the apocalypse. Nobody's going to Facebook. Nobody's live streaming. Nobody's watching live streams. We're literally fighting for food, canned goods, and fresh water. And nobody's doing live streams. And they're killing their customer. But it's kind of like us. It's kind of like us. I mean, it fits in the Facebook model with our species. It kind of fits in because they're self-extincting their own customer and themselves. And that's what we're doing, right? We keep profit systems that require the end be our extinction. And that's why that's why I believe in dark energy. I believe in like spiritual dark energy. If it's not creatures or Satan, it's something that's not from here, right? If you have common sense, you're not a self-destructive species. You're not a self-destructive person. You don't literally line yourself up to be killed. In these systems, this economic system engine thing that we have, you can't convince me that the people at the top don't know where this all ends, right? We're literally cutting off our foot, or cutting off your nose despite your face. You know, we are literally bringing about the end. That's why I think there's something dark that escapes the end. Maybe it's fays, aliens, dimensions, demons. I don't know what they are. But whatever is like behind the economic systems on this planet that are bringing this extinction about, they have a way of escaping it. Maybe it's just us. Maybe it's just humans with UFOs. Maybe it's just humans with space. Maybe it's just Rothschilds and Rockefellers with Space Force, and they're gonna go up somewhere and wait till we all get extinct and the pandemic fizzles out, then they'll come back down, it'll be their planet. All right, so let me see. Accept the decision or oh hell yeah, I'm gonna request a review. Y'all crazy? Request a review. Request a review, and we'll see what happens. Your post goes against community standards. Review requested. We'll send you an update once we reviewed your post again. All right, there you go. Did I say something about voting? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe don't vote is hate speech now. All right, last couple comments, and I am going to go. If you have a good source of research, it can be a game changer. Ask Daniel. Yeah, we have to have a good source of research or a good researcher, Hillary. The researcher I like the most is Dr. Greger. Love Dr. Greger. He owns the nutritionfacts.org. Fantastic website. He was the one who kind of started me on a lot of this trail that would actually do the research. But the way he did research was phenomenal. He has a team of volunteers who do it. When they look at the research, they look at the statistics and the data, they look at who's behind the actual study. Right. And what industry they're involved in, what corporation they are, what is their product, where is their profit? Because a lot of research, because you can do research, but if you're not doing like methodical research and you're looking at where these studies are coming from, you're going to be looking at studies about smoking that come from Marlboro, right? Like I'm not interested in studies on milk and casein causing cancer from a dairy corporation or the dairy industry, right? Like, look at where that research comes from. So definitely, if you have to have a good source for research, and you also want to try to link up with people who are doing research, but they do methodical research. The pharma industry wants us taking unnecessary pills is what I was getting at. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything unnecessary, but everything as a captive customer. And that's why it's a crony model where you ban the other option, so you force everybody down a funnel. And that's really what the war on drugs is about. I mean, there are a lot of sideline benefits, but it's mostly about funneling everybody in one direction to buy your product. It has nothing to do with people taking drugs and running in the street killing people. Has nothing to do with black people running rampant with reefer madness, hurting white women. That's what they always have, that component to scare people into going along with a crony central control setup to make profit. But usually a product that you don't need, but it's a product they have the most of, and so it's beneficial to them from a capitalistic perspective. All right. Advil can kill your Kennedy, or your Advil can kill your Kennedys. No, Advil can. Well, no, that was your deep state that killed Kennedy. Well, your Kennedys, that makes sense. It's a couple of them, and deep state did do that. Conflict-based systems don't just take flus and make them pandemics, but they kill your Kennedys too. Absolutely. But she said kidneys. The Kennedys on my mind. Is his anniversary coming up? Yeah, and the scary thing, Lori, is we don't even know all of what causes all of what damage, because they keep that information from us. They keep that research private. Okay, good. Confirming. I didn't know what I was talking about. Aspirin's tree bark. Absolutely. Or it comes from it. Now, is the synthetic, is the medicine, is the actual bottle the tree bark, or are they synthesizing something? Or they're just taking tree bark? That would be my question. Over long-term use. Yeah, everything's dangerous over long-term use if you do too much of it. You drink enough water, it'll kill you. Drink enough Twinkies, it'll kill you. Small things in moderation. But if I could get, if I needed aspirin, I'd get it right from the bark. I wouldn't buy from a corporation that's concentrating it in the lab. They get you super hooked on painkillers and those advanced pain management places. Absolutely, because that makes profit. All right. Tylenol synthetic lure. Okay, y'all going back and forth? I don't know. Someone answer that question. Is Tylenol synthetic? Y'all going back and forth? No, aspirin is. Okay, Tylenol. Okay, I get it. Great. If everyone had food, water, and shelter and the choice to follow our interests and passions, the world would be a very different place. It would be, Susan. There would be no pandemics. Flus would be what they're supposed to be. They would be a little thing that pops up, fizzled out, can't find ground to root in and thrive. Children would thrive. But we got to listen to the Jon Snows. We got to listen to both of them. All right. Do you want to free the people from pandemics? That's a great question Pat Riley's asking. All right, y'all talking about herbalism, this, psoriasis. I said psoriasis, you hear that? This herbal blend has been a godsend for my dog. Ooh, Max, my favorite herbalist for dogs is the guy that created the company Longevity. He was fantastic. The guy who actually he discovered the mineral vein and bought the land that had these mineral veins from some crashed asteroid, and he makes this bottled juice. But he started realizing from treating dogs, they were curing conditions that plague humans. Like they were curing things in dogs, just giving them natural minerals and things. But I forgot his name. But he also was the one who talked about coal or wood ash. If you put wood ash on your garden, it puts the minerals back into the food that you're eating. Depression comes from repressing our natural emotions. Makes sense. It comes from a lot of things. It also comes from the Pentagon. It also comes from slavery. It also comes from forced labor. It comes from central management of everything. It comes from all those things. All right, ready to get going. Anyone got like a last word, last comment? I love Pat Riley's voice. That might be the last comment. I do too. Like I said, that brother can sing. I can't believe he just put that together. That's why I say there's something special about musicians. They have the right sounds and they can mix them together, make something beautiful. These Chinese blend for my dog. There's lots of tubers and roots in it. Well, giving dogs dis-ease for dogs is what it is for humans. When you eat the things you're supposed to eat, your body lives in a state of ease. If you eat the things you're not supposed to eat, you live in dis-ease. If you take drugs you're not supposed to take, then you have dis-ease. But you make it easy for flus to become pandemics when you have war zones, when you have poverty, when you have big corporations that are poisoning people who believe the commercials and take things that keep their immune system debilitated. So yes, Christine, all we got to do is walk away from pandemics. Pandemics don't need to be fought. You just walk away. That's it. Flus are only flus when you live in a world of common sense. When you live in an ignorant world where a few control the technology and a few control what's true and false, then a flu becomes pandemic. So all we got to do is walk away. Same thing as a deep state. You fight pandemics same way you fight deep state. You just walk away. World security is about intelligence, intellect. World security is about creating conditions that stop things from making it insecure. Create conditions that are stabilized. Sharing technology, sharing information, no more secrets. That's how we fix it. All right, I gotta get going. Listen, this is Gerard. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Facebook, you do what you're supposed to do. You do your job good, y'all. Keep it up, Facebook. That's what you're supposed to do. You can make us better and better and better. If they push people to other platforms, it's a good thing. Because it means now that you'll have other alternative platforms that will bring about more honesty, right? Like if this pushes people to BitChute, and BitChute or YouTube or whoever allows for people to speak freely, then good. But if we all stay in a Facebook, if it lets us all stay, we're all going to stay because we love the platform because it works really, really well. They did a great job making it. But we won't help the new creators and developers that are open source, that are creating platforms like the Tatsus that are trying to create free speech platforms. That's what I'm saying. The world goes the way it's supposed to. Just trust the process. Trust the process, like Bob Marley said. Trust the process, and everything is going to be all right. Just accept how things work. Everything is going to be all right. Do you want to free the people? That's all you want to ask. All right, there you go. Y'all have a great day. This is Gerard. Y'all have a fantastic. Thank you for liking and subscribing, because we might be YouTube from now on. Bye.
Modern slavery stop. Do you want to let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people and Mother Nature too?